Hey guys, so I've been waiting for these Lego parts to arrive, which will be used for a custom Lego modular building that I've designed. Finally, a month since I've placed my first order, all the parts are here, and I can show you what we have. The 5 packages on the left contain BrickLink orders from the sellers I indicated on each package. The other 2 large packages were ordered directly from Lego Pick-a-brick service on their website. Firstly, I'll show you what's inside the 5 BrickLink packages, and then we'll go through the larger Pick-a-brick orders. On these BrickLink orders alone, I've spent a total of 174 euros, while the Pick-a-brick orders costed as indicated on the screen. So, of course, this is a really expensive project, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It was my first time ordering individual Lego parts through BrickLink and Pick-a-brick, though, so I'm still learning how to source parts cheaply. With my other custom projects, I plan to reuse a lot of these pieces and minimize the number of different sellers I need to order from and pay shipping fees too. So without further ado, let's check out what's inside. So here we are. This is all the pieces from the 5 BrickLink orders. Not much. And before we delve into the reasons why not much for such a price, I wanted to show you a quick saving tip. So if you absolutely need to use tan color for fences, don't use the ones that has the 4 studs instead of the 2, because the 4 stud fence for some reason is just so much more expensive than these ones with only the 2 studs on top. So yeah, this is not the case for the fences in other colors. Now you might be asking why these seemingly standard Lego pieces costed so much, and I have to tell you that the main reason is because of the color. These brown Lego pieces were the main source of spending because the regular brown color is discontinued and not available directly from the Lego website anymore. And you can see these are all in regular brown. All these pieces, these triangular pieces, these wedges, plates, regular 1x2, 1x2s, 1x1s, all of these are unavailable anymore because the color is discontinued. The only way to source them is through BrickLink or buy secondhand, but obviously their value has increased ever since Lego pulled this color out of production, and they became a lot more difficult to find. And I've designed my modular building in the BrickLink Studio app, which usually lists all the let's just say parts or bricks that aren't available anymore, etc. Or like, but for this color I didn't get any error, and I've made my essentially parts order by exporting the BrickLink Studio apps bill of materials straight into the Lego Pick-a-brick, and only after ordering all the parts I realized that a bunch of parts are missing, which is almost all the brown parts which weren't available. This is the difference. The brown, and then there is a reddish brown. There's absolutely no difference. Like a very, very small nuance difference that you can only see when you put the parts next to each other close up. But the point is that reddish brown is like readily available on Lego Pick-a-brick, and the brown color is not. So my advice to you is don't use brown color in the Studio app. Don't make the same mistake that I made and use reddish brown everywhere instead. In this particular case from Brickstadt, I ordered reddish brown 1x4s just because they weren't available on Pick-a-brick. They were out of stock. The same logic goes to these doors. These white doors here, which are discontinued and unreasonably expensive. So you can use currently available doors instead. But I really wanted to get these particular designs, so that was my decision to pay the premium price for them. But you absolutely don't need to or don't have to. You can get some similar looking doors from Lego much cheaper. And yeah, honestly, I somehow completely missed these windows in my parts list, and I only after other orders were placed, I saw that that I missed them, and I had to do a completely separate order and pay shipping just for them, despite these windows costing just 5 cents per piece. So yeah, like it was, there were some mistakes made with this order, but even like there is one window that came without the glass inside, or the plastic glass, whatever you call it, is just like empty. So I think beware of ordering used parts, but thankfully I ordered more than I need, so that's fine. Even though I only need like four or something of these bright green flowers, I got as much as I can from this seller because I was already ordering other parts. So it was just like a no-brainer because you have to pay shipping for each seller. So in the end, I will use them in like Lego City, building vegetation and stuff there. And here it is. This is the Lego Pick-a-brick orders. So this is like the first order, and then this is the second order that I had to place after again somehow managing to miss some parts in the first order, and also having to do some part swaps for like windows that were discontinued with windows that would be much cheaper to get through Lego. So after doing those part swaps, I had ordered them from Pick-a-brick, and placing a second order was cheaper than like using some older versions of Windows. So yeah, let's go through some of these pieces. There's a lot. I have already sorted everything here. So as you can see, I've neatly sorted all the parts, and I gotta tell you, don't expect the parts to come in separate bags when you order from Lego Pick-a-brick. Lego will just dump all the parts in one bag. Like in this case, it was like 1,600 something pieces dumped into a single bag that I had to sort through. So yeah, this is not the case with BrickLink. Most BrickLink sellers will gonna put parts in separate plastic bags. I guess this is how they're trying to like reduce waste. So this large box contains all sorts of parts that I need for my modular building, and in some cases even more in quantity than I need, because like for some pieces that are let's say generally used, I ordered a larger quantity than I need. Looking into the future, I envision some parts to be necessary for future projects. So here, just like, I will just show you part by part, but I'm not gonna comment much because it's pretty straightforward. This is 2x4s, some plates, a lot more plates, tiles, all sorts of color of tiles. These are masonry bricks, which are really awesome to use for buildings. They add some texture to the building. And yeah, 1x1 bricks. There's these bricks with studs on the side so that you can attach something. Some more plates. Okay, some glass pieces. Even glass pieces. Lego doesn't bother putting glass pieces in separate bag. They just dump them together with all the other parts, which usually ends up scratching the parts. When they are brand new from factory, you get some scratches on them, like tiles, plates again. This is how I put them so that they use as little space as possible, but also it's easy to separate rather than just like, you know, putting them together, which would be impossible to separate. So there's a lot of these white 1x2 jumper plates, 130 or something like that, as far as I remember. Yeah, there's a lot of plates, different sizes. It's kind of like fancy looking plates. Yeah, oh, there's some arches as well. Yeah, most pieces I ordered in the exact quantity that I will need for the modular building, but for some standard pieces, as I say, like I just went and ordered a lot more. So this is reddish brown, and this is like dark brown color. So these are readily available on Lego. This is dark red, like all these colors. Oh, this is a cool piece. It's like a sloped piece. I really like this piece. I ordered a lot more than I need. I need just 2. I ordered 10 because I will use them later. There's some tiles, slopes in this bag. Yeah. What else do we have here? Various attachment brackets and stuff. Windows, door frames. These are for, and some like arches for the building. 1x1 pieces. Yeah, there's a lot. So as you can see, there's a lot of pieces here. A lot of 1x4 bricks. I don't have many regular like pieces of Lego. I just have Lego Technics. So for this project, this is had to source pretty much everything. Again, masonry bricks, different color. This is reddish brown, and this is like dark tan. This is dark tan, and this is tan. Yeah. Then here on the other order, I have this is a great piece to save cost. So this is, I think, 1x8 reddish brown brick. So you have like 1x8, or instead you can have like 1x4 reddish brown, which is like you need 2 of them to get that. So you might as well just get that and save a lot of money. Then there's a lot of dark brown 1x8 plates, and these windows I had to order later again because I missed them somehow, and also yeah, there is somewhere the glass for them. This is the glass, so it's gonna be tedious to just put the glass inside them. And then there's reddish, dark red 1x4s and some doors here as well. And finally, there's a lot of plates, so just like like a build plate and a lot of these plates for making like different floors of the modular building, like to use as some kind of a base. So that's pretty much that. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I will gonna be making the modular building in the next video, so stay tuned. We're gonna use these pieces to build something really exciting, and I hope you stayed till the end, and don't forget to subscribe, and we will gonna build the modular next time. I'll see you then. Cheers.